There was an account that we've already talked about, and it's pretty clear they have no intention of stopping what they're up to. And who am I referring to, you might ask? Well, I am referring to an artist by the name of Helicopter Foods, the artist who possibly, maybe, completely drew a monitor in their speed paint video to try to convince people their art process is legitimate. Because we have this account in question, and the account goes by the name Yuki or the handle Frostbite Nerd. Now you might be like, well, why does this person have to do with helicopter food? This is clearly a different name. Well, if you've watched my other video about this artist Helicopter Foods, then you already know the whole shebang. But if you haven't, I'll give you a quick TLDR and I'll link the video down below for you to check out. In the original call out of that artist, it was basically accused the artist has multiple accounts. The main account being Helicopter Foods, which is this account. This is their OC for their account with this orange hair. But that there were two other accounts they were accused of also being the owner of. One by the name Lapa Lil Pup, which is this one, where they have blatantly stolen somebody else's OC for, mind you. And the other one is this account called Yuki or Frostbite Nerd. This Yuki account tends to make a lot of art of Hatsune Miku. Even their profile photo is an art piece of Hatsune Miku. And by the way, why was it accused that they're the same person? Besides a bunch of other similarities, a big one is the handwriting itself. This person has a interesting tendency of writing where when they write their eyes, instead of drawing top down and then dotting their eye, they actually draw the stroke bottom up. They also use the same brush, a pressure sensitive brush where it thins out if you kind of like lessen the pressure. You can see here with the eye for the Helicopter Food account, it's thick on the bottom and really thin on the top. This indicates they go bottom up in their stroke. And for the way they write their eyes for Frostbite Nerd, this account, the way they sign off their account, they also write the eyes the same way. Amongst other notable factors in the way they write, it really indicates that through the handwriting and other factors that were mentioned, like the same art style, that it's very likely all to belong to the same person. Now, after all the public callouts and stuff like that, you know, a lot of artists do one of a couple things when it comes to getting publicly call out, and Helicopter Foods chose the option of doing nothing, where they literally just kept posting artwork. But now with the added change in that people in their comment section have been making little comments here or there about, you know, hey, is this legitimate? Is this AI, etc. Now, what is really interesting is with this other account, Yuki, all of a sudden they started posting again, but with a very different looking OC. Because if you have this Yuki account, we go back here, they were posting in like November 2025, and again, a lot of Hatsune Miku artwork. And then they stopped all of a sudden until, boom, February 4th, where they rock up with the brand new OC out of nowhere. And it follows the same style as a lot of their other posts. They post very frequently, and the artwork is very meme related art. So this one, the character is wearing a shirt that says, "Don't bully me, I will." Something something. Immediately the next day, they have another post. And again, just because you're an artist that posts frequently does not mean you use AI. But this is something these AI accounts do, right? That is one way to kind of spot them out. Suspicious looking artwork alongside daily posts of like highly rendered artwork alongside a litany of other suspicious things. Don't just because an artist posts frequently go out there and accuse them of using AI, right? This is everything in conjunction. The reason why we're pointing this out on this account specifically is through handwriting analysis and other aspects as well, as in, you know, the person who was accused of using AI proven basically, right, to have traced following basically only these accounts. That's like another one that's kind of like, oh, that's kind of interesting. So the reason why I'm adding this disclaimer, by the way, is in these videos, in the comment section, you know, I don't want you guys as artists to be like freaking out, being like, is people gonna accuse me of AI, blah, blah, blah. Like, disclaimer, it's everything together, okay? Just because somebody posts a lot doesn't mean they used AI. But another big MO is when the account doesn't come up with the joke themselves. A lot of these like AI art accounts, what they do is they will take popular jokes, trends, whatever, and then pass it through AI to do their own work of it. But they don't actually come up with anything on their own. And in relation to this post, well, there is an original creator of this meme, or I guess like popular art piece, right? Notably the character wearing this Brooklyn shirt. And well, wait a second here. This person's OC has a lot of really similar characteristics to Yuki's character. And the artists themselves came out to write about it. The artist Mickey writes, "I usually don't comment on stuff like this because I suffer from severe anxiety and actively try to avoid any confrontation. But people are literally saying this is me on an alt account. This is not me. I have my main tagged on my alts. This is Helicopter Food. I know I don't own the concept of dirty blonde hair, dark roots, star hairpins, eye bags, and so on, but combining all of that pretty much color picking the hair color off of my artwork is a bit much. It's so close that people are confused, asking if this is another alt of mine, sending me the post. I don't like drama, I just want to make people aware. By the way, color picking the art is insane. That is like another level of like yoinkerage, you know? And again, I think the big thing too, which is what OP is saying, is that, you know, they're clearly acknowledging they don't own the concept of like, you know, dark roots, blonde hair, whatever. But like, one, it is way too similar. And two, this person is clearly taking art that has been made by this artist and completely not crediting it. This trend was literally done in December by Mickey. Same Brooklyn shirt, same shirt photo in the corner, you know, the same hair color, the star pin, everything. And oh wow, this account that is like very heavily connected to somebody that has traced works before and has used AI in their art process. Suspicious. And that's because this is the MO of accounts like this. And again, they're back at it with the daily post, February 6th, we have February 8th, and this is their February 10th post, where again, this is looking really suspicious. Because wait a second here, what is written here exactly? This is why a lot of people are feeling like this piece was run through AI, and that this person is once again using AI in their art process. Because look at the words, right? There's question marks, right? Like question mark, question mark. These are supposed to be question marks, but they're all backwards and all wobbly. Then we have total failure, because this is an F. The bottom of the E dropped all the way down here. And then she goes moving without showering. This is supposed to say months, but it doesn't, because this is written incorrectly. Likely because it's probably something to do with AI. Again, the commenter spotted out. This person says they circled the moving and writing, is it really so hard to learn how to draw? Like, dude, are we for real now? And somebody asked for clarity and they say the original artist put, she goes months without showering, but since an AI recreated the image using OP's OC, it screwed up the text. And this is, again, just when you recognize the MO of accounts like this, their methodology of just taking jokes and trends and memes that other artists do and their OCs and then throwing it all into the same account, using an AI to go and just like churn out buttloads of artwork. And then they have a Patreon, of course, where that's how they make money, right? Where they're trying to like funnel you to their Patreon, where that is where they're going to do the more lewd or NSFW content there to try to profit. And they rack up daily posts doing this. Not to be cynical, but it's likely because, you know, people have basically spotted out the main account and they probably caught on to what the main account is up to. So now they've got to pivot over to a different one. So just be careful, be aware out there, and don't send hate to any parties. Please don't do that. But just, you know, protect your pockets, man. It's your money at the end of the day. You can spend it on whatever you want, but just keep in mind, you know, where things are coming from. And I have another like quick little story, but I just saw this on Twitter. This, oh my gosh, this sucks, man. This is posted by an artist named Uni or Yun Drawings, and they write, "Are you serious?" And they have their DMs with somebody, and this sketch looks so good. And they're like, "Hey, just finish the sketch. I just need you to confirm the payment so I can proceed with the process." And the person responds, "Oh, thank you, but I don't want it anymore." And then they block them. That is wild. First up, imagine deciding you don't want the art piece anymore, and instead of like paying the artist for the fair amount of time and effort they put into it, you're just like, no, I'm just gonna block and dip. That says so much about you. What in the world? But secondly, just be careful if you are an artist. People in the comments are saying, please send the sketch with a watermark, and I highly agree, because a lot of times scamming AI bros will actually do this. They will commission an artist, in quotes, for a sketch, and then once they get the sketch, they will take the sketch and then feed that into AI. And the reason they do this is to try to have the art pieces look more legitimate, because the basis, the sketch, was made by a person, right? So it looks less AI. So that way, to protect yourself as an artist, please send it over with a watermark. But at least in the good news, the artist says in the comments, for those who are asking, somebody already claimed the sketch. So at least thankfully we know there is like a happy ending over this. But this is what I mean. Some bro in the comments took the sketch and fed it into AI. Like, bro, please, let's not be weird. Impossible challenge. So anyways, I will have both artists linked down below so that you can go and show them some support, the support they very, very, very deserve. So yeah, if you like these videos, I appreciate it if you like and subscribe. Don't forget to check me out on Etsy. I have digital art there for streamers and creators. I also have a coffee with free resources like a free sponsorship guide, and I stream on Twitch 3 days a week, Mondays and now Thursdays instead of Wednesdays at 7:30, and Saturdays. So Mondays and Saturdays are still at 6 p.m. So I hope to catch y'all there or in another video. Peace.